August 1st, 2013, and this is a tour of my Bay State kitchen garden. I'm Chris. We're starting the tour in the garage. Check out these onions. Candy onions harvested a couple of weeks ago. I let them dry with the tops on, trimmed them off, and here they are, vented and ready to eat. Gosh, I don't know how I'm going to eat them all. I'll be giving some away. Over here we have garlic, also dried and stored. And here's my potato storage system. Metal bins with holes in the lids for air. These are a few that I'm going to cook and store for seed potato for next year inside the barrels, protected by newspaper to keep their moisture level up. Our many layers of potatoes. As you can see, there's some great Yukon Golds. And over here, some red onions dried and ready for storage. Heading out of the garage into the garden. It's a beautiful sunny day, which means that we're going to get quite a bit of glare. I'll try to work around it. Hey buddy, there's Sal. You got the sun in your eyes? First, we're going to head over and check out the butternut squash bed. This was a potato bed. There's actually nothing rooted in here but the one eggplant. The squash is spreading over the bed. It needs lots of room. I've tried the compact butternuts and they just don't make enough. Take a look at that squash. Coming along nicely, and there are more in there. Also have some New Zealand spinach here. It is a perennial. We'll see if it survives around here with the cold winter we had last year. I'm not sure. Raspberries right next door. Great fruit production on those raspberries. I'm going to get a lot off of it, even if the birds have a few. More squash here. Asparagus. Had a few asparagus beetles, but I've been able to pick them off. And we're going to have a great crop next year. Look at those bundles in there. I'll be able to harvest a lot. Tomatoes are spread all over the garden. Here's some in shade that we can take a good look at. And we've got some nice Roma tomatoes forming there. Not much color yet on any tomatoes, though lots and lots of fruit are forming. The only ones with color are over here. There's a little bit of pink coming on that one. But this is that heirloom potato leafed one, and it's also getting quite a bit of yellowing. That's the trade-off. Those heirlooms are very subject to yellowing. So, I may get a few fruit, and then I may pull it out and go with some of the more resistant ones like Celebrity. Over here, burgundy beans. Have been getting some damage from potato beetles, but I've also been picking off a lot of the beetles, and we're still getting heavy set of flowers, as you can see here, and plenty of beans still. This is Tetragona spinach, which is a nice substitute for spinach in the hot summer garden. Here in this pot, nice crop of basil and Hungarian wax peppers. I love those peppers. They get quite hot, but not overpowering. Let's go in the fenced bed. Plenty of basil. I made pesto yesterday. I'll be making it again soon. Here's some pole beans. Lots of flowers, a little bit of fruit on them so far. Tomatoes. Nasturtiums. Over here, more beans. Dragon tongue. Check out the color on that one. And this is very interesting. The dragon tongue are very close, just across a couple of beds from the burgundy beans, and yet they have no beetles on them. Can't figure that out, but I'm happy about it. runner beans here. Runner beans don't set fruit in the heat. It's cooling off, so they're going to start. I do love the flowers, though. Look at that. And I have planted more bush beans coming here. I want a nice sequence of fruit. Lots of tomatoes. Here's a self-seeded amaranth from last year. Got to work around those shadows. Moonflowers growing all along the fence. There's some chard. It was getting chewed on, I think, by earwigs, but it's actually grown through that, and I'm going to be able to harvest some very soon. Now we've got to go look at the trombone squash. Here we go, 3 in a row, different sizes along the fence. It's running along the fence here. Miles and miles and miles of trombone squash and lots of fruit. There's a big beauty. Most of my other squash has not done well this year. The trombone squash has been the saving grace of the garden. So what we're eating right now is lots of beans. Back to the tomatoes here in the shade. Lots of trombone squash. I've been making pesto. I also harvested some beets yesterday, and I'm going to have beets and pesto. Here we've got buckwheat as a cover crop in a finished potato bed. I will dig that in, and it will create some good nutrition for late crops or for next year. Over here, Romano yellow pole beans. Let's find some good fruit coming. There's a little baby one. These are going to be in sequence after the burgundy beans. Ah, there's a better one. Nice looking. Got that? All right, I think I'll eat that one. So that's the report from my Bay State Kitchen Garden, August 1st, 2013.